The role of spirituality in achieving alignment. With this one, we're going to define spirituality, and it's probably not what you think. It's basically a term which we're going to coin for the human experience, which is basically all things you. So when we have a look at basically all things you, what are we talking about? We're talking about your childhood, we're talking about your life experiences, we're talking about any lessons, any learning, and anything that you have that your soul wishes to deal with, potentially karmic, in this lifetime. So when we have a look at spirituality, and when we have a look at it from a place of achieving alignment, the whole human experience is the spiritual experience. And basically we're here for lessons and learning, and those lessons and learning are then going to dictate how aligned we are as individuals to nothing other than ourselves. And that's exactly where the power is, because that's where the control is. So what you do has a direct impact on yourself. And because it has a direct impact on yourself, then what then happens is everything that you do is actually an investment in a future version of yourself. And that future version of self then gets more and more aligned, or ultimately less aligned, based on the choice of the experiences that we wish to have. So when we have a look at spirituality from a place of how does it actually assist in achieving alignment, the only thing we're actually doing is living, but not to the stories that we've been told, not to the conditions, the habits, the patterns and behaviours that we're always conditioned to be. And then once we get away from those, then we get to a position whereby we're actually living an authentic life. And that authentic life should then bring about further instances whereby there is progress and development in order for you to create the existence that you wish to create, rather than having your life lived from a perceived perspective of all of those that you've learnt from, all the survival adaptations, all those coping mechanisms, everything that comes in from a place of everybody else's life that is unresolved, and then ultimately gets passed down generationally from age range to group to friend group to relationships. And as you can see, you can then start to ripple these out, because ultimately they all act as mirrors, and these mirrors in turn will have something to show you. So what we ultimately want to do from a place of achieving alignment is go into spirituality, but not make it something that's woo-woo. Make it something that's actually consistent with growth and personal development, and then strive towards finding what that looks like every day. And that's going to those places that you don't want to go. That's going deep into the mindset. That's going deep into the patterns, habits, behaviours, experiences from past, present and ultimately future that will dictate exactly how we show up and potentially lead to achieving alignment or getting pretty close. When we have harmony and we have balance, then everything around us, as within, so without, then projects and reflects accordingly. And therefore we don't get distortions in reality, and we can then strive to then go forward in terms of creating an aligned existence that we wish to be living, rather than that which we've been conditioned or societally driven to live. And that's where ultimately the healing and the transformation begins and ends. So there's something to think about. But if you've got any questions, if you've got anything going on in your life that you're not quite sure of, then drop a comment below or book a 30-45 minute consultation, and we can run through and see what we can help you with. Obviously free, no obligation to do anything further, and hopefully I can give you a bit of value and give you some action steps that you can potentially take forward. But as always, until next time, trust the process, and it's bye for now.